Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking. Just kicking. Just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Hey, family. Thank you for coming over, spending a little of your time before you go to bed, okay? Or before you go out doing what you do, running them streets. Or if you're just going for lunch or something. Thank you for stopping by, because you didn't have to do it. No, you didn't, but I'm so glad you did do it. So make sure you hit the notification bell button, subscribe, share, and like my videos. And all of that is just free. Can you see it? Can you say it? Can you see it? All right, it's free, people. But anyway, we're going to be talking about TDJakes officially arrested after his son confirms the rumors. Now, I've only heard this from Spill Today. That's their YouTube channel. And I don't know if it's true, because I think if it was true, every news outlet, local news outlet would know, and they would be, turning it up for everybody to get where they need to go, denounce being a part of the sham that P. Diddy and Bishop T.D. Jakes had going on. Because as you know it, everything that's done in the dark will come to light. Anything you saying and lying on people and this, that, and the third will come back. That's why I always say allegedly. Because I don't know for sure. I just like, ooh, who we talking about tonight? Who we talking about today? And that's how I usually do my thing. But anyway, we have a Spill today. We're going to let her talk, and we're going to make our opinions or our speculations in between the talking of her and myself. Okay? But remember, this is a reaction type video, and we don't know it to be true. Okay? All right.
So it's just a lot to talk about. That experienced the same thing that I experienced.
The people he was speaking up for turned out to be alleged victims of TDJakes' not-so-pretty side. You'd be quick to doubt it, but taking a look at the man's history makes it a little difficult to contend.
TDJakes was hanging out at a rapper and twerking party. What? That Puff Daddy held. He's sitting right there, old TD Snakes.
Even someone who's been at those parties was shocked at the news of a public preacher showing up there.
Rumors surrounding, Diddy and TDJakes.
Why would a religious man like himself be at a party, which ain't nothing but sin that's going?
And it's not just his bodyguard that feels that way. Other people in the entertainment industry with insider knowledge say he's much worse than he appears to the world.
See, they're up in another hemisphere than regular, too. They're very insulated. They can do what they want. They got people on.
It's not.
And that was Lunel, the comedian that was saying what TD Jakes has for his security guards and, people, his Secret Service, if you must give him that title. Because they usually be reserved for presidents of each state. Okay? But Lunel said it. He's been isolated. He can't be touched. But, honey, everybody that thought they couldn't be touched are getting touched. Okay? Slapped around and everything else, allegedly.
Not every day you get to see famous preachers in the headlines, and in most cases, when you do see them, it's usually for something related to their message. Over the past couple of weeks, TDJakes has gone against this expected tide of people in his line of work, as the famed bishop has been wrapped up in some rather unusual news. Now, his media appearances have taken an even worse direction, with his name making the news right next to allegations of arrest. I mean, unlike most preachers, Jakes is actually no stranger to being the center of media attention. His church growth over the years, coupled with his involvement with several successful figures in the entertainment industry, has earned him an almost unshakable spot spot in society. And you know what comes with that kind of success? Fame. Well, it seems his messages aren't the only thing he's famous for, as recent news reports are saying the man might not exactly be a follower of his own message. There are successful theologians in the world, and then there are people like Bishop TDJakes, who seem to have figured out a way to bridge the gap between the entertainment community, particularly the hip-hop scene, and biblical messages. Not only has the man been involved with several high-profile figures both within and outside the Black community, but his reach even spans into the international scene. However, like many people religious leader alike, Jakes has constantly faced criticism for his associations with several high-net-worth individuals that most people consider sketchy. The preacher, however, has always let those claims fly right over his head, as he never seemed to pay any mind to people he believed were against him, until now. These days, we're finding out that Jakes might not exactly be the sinless saint many people have thought him to be through the years. See, the thing with getting caught up in controversy after controversy in a world that is ruled by headlines is that at one point or the other, those controversies start to cast a shadow on anything you might be involved in. This was somewhat the story with Jakes, as people started to question whether the bishop might not have been entirely innocent of the claims that have been coming out against him. The fury of this fire became even more intense after not just one, but two people recently came out to admit that they individually had dark experiences involving the preacher being inappropriate with them while they were younger. In an unexpected twist of fate, the preacher's own son also happened to be caught up in a situation that made people more open to believing the recent allegations about him. He might have been caught up in more dire situations in the past, but the timing of these stories couldn't possibly be worse for him.
You look just like the sinner! Just like the sinner!
You may not even know anything about the message he preaches, but there's almost no chance you haven't heard anything about TDJakes. And while his church might be the main thing that brought him to the center of the media, there have been several other news reports that have kept him there. Some are more unexpected than you'd think, as was the case with the news about his son. Per a Dallas police reports, the son of TDJakes,
paying your bills on time,
was arrested in a gay sting in Keys Park a while back. Jermaine Donald Jakes faced a charge of indecent exposure after allegedly exposing himself in front of two undercover Vice detectives. Senior CPL Janice Crowther, a DPD spokeswoman, confirmed at the time that the detectives were both male. According to the arrest affidavit, the detectives were investigating a citizen complaints of S activity when they observed Jakes and several other unknown males park their vehicles in the lot east of the park. The detectives followed Jakes into a wooded area, where he approached them with his exposed through his unzipped pants, the affidavit stated. Jakes M for several seconds while making eye contact with one of the detectives. The famous bishop's son did not attempt to conceal his despite people walking and jogging on a trail nearby, according to the affidavit. Court records say Jermaine Jakes listed his place of employment as TDJakes Ministries, which most people considered strange because of the situation, but Jakes was later released at the scene after being detained. For those who may not be aware, TDJakes is the founder of the Potter's House, a 30,000 member church in South Dallas. The contrast to this story is that the preacher is a vocal opponent of same-sex marriage. He's even been criticized by HIV/AIDS activists for undermining the prevention of the disease by stigmatizing homo-s and drug use. Yet here's his son literally getting caught with his pants down. On same-sex marriage, Jakes once told USA Today, "To date, I have not seen..."
And really, we've already heard that the story about preachers' kids are the most violent, the most untamed, the most irritating. Because, you know, when you're at a point in your life and you're still in your mother and father's house, you have to go by certain rules. Now, why wasn't it a rule for TD Jakes to mention to his son that, hey, you can't go out here exposing yourself to other people? That's not right, and it's not legal. So you need to pull your pants up and go on about your day. But we will seek, community service that you need to do. We'll get you help from a psychiatrist, psychologist, and anybody that you feel you need to have in your life for you to progress, but progress in the right way. Now, I'm not saying I'm against same-sex marriages or anything like that. I just have a question on how do they get a baby unless they're using a surrogate. But then, you know, that can get kind of dicey too. But let's get on back to the audio and see what we can hear.
Scriptural authority that allows me to stand on behalf of God and say, I now pronounce you husband and husband and wife and wife. This is an issue the government is undecided about. The Bible is not. Jermaine Jakes' attorney, Faith Johnson, issued a written statement the following week. We are aware of potential allegations involving Jermaine Jakes and are undertaking our own investigation of these allegations at this time, the statement said. Given an apparent government investigation, we have no further comment at this time. While it's already sketchy enough that his son was caught up in a rather unusual scandal, the preacher may also soon have to address SA allegations in court after one of his former mentees, Manasseh Jordan, stated in a recent video that victims of the alleged power bottom bishop are preparing to sue him. Remember when I said there were claims against him? This is exactly what I was referring to.
Two of the offenders were not only a victim of grooming, as what I described, but of SA.
Manasseh Jordan, a former mentee of Bishop TDJakes, who claimed that the prominent Dallas pastor groomed him, stated that more victims have come forward and he has spoken with them. It is no secret that Manasseh Jordan probably once laid his head upon Bishop TDJakes' shoulders, as we've seen in the photo floating around, with Diddy's head resting on the shoulders of the Black Pope. It seems like Manasseh has finally found a way to escape from the hands of the enemy and is now using his platform to help other victims. In a video posted by Manasseh on December 30th, he discussed the new victims who have come forward against Bishop TDJakes. Just recently today, I've heard from two other victims that it's just a lot to talk about, that experienced the same thing that I experienced, Manasseh said in the video.
Today I've heard from two other victims that...
And I put Jonathan Majors as well as Megan Good picture in here to kind of try to, you know, one beaming off another one bouncing off another one, because it comes with the same thing. Black man, you know, had a few altercations with white woman. White woman cry about it and be the loudest in the room. We knew it was a slam dunk for him to go to jail and make restitution to the family or whatnot. But, yeah, we see how that played out. Now we got TD Jakes up here going with, allegedly, going with these young guys that like practicing same-sex, you know, ritual thing. Because it's just total blasphemy, really, that you would go walking in a park with your pants down. That sounds like mental health issues, and he shouldn't go to jail. But if you don't look at the cause of the problem, where it stems from, you're going to always get that person acting out. Because we don't want nobody to just chop it off. You know what I'm saying? You be in the woods walking, trying to figure out who's going to, you know, who you going to land to, you know, bed for that night. But like I said, for the tangle where we weave when we practice to deceive. Okay? So that's why I had put Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, is because, I don't know, he was a stand-up guy from what we had heard of him. And then you got Megan as a stand-up actress as well. But my thing is, why y'all just didn't go to the police department and file something on her prior to getting this bad? I mean, at least one to believe that Megan Good was messing with him, Jonathan Majors, before he got out the relationship with the first woman. See what I'm saying? But let's go back to the audio, please.
So it's just a lot to talk about. That experienced the same thing that I experienced.
Manasseh alleges that two victims he spoke with were allegedly groomed and SA'd by Bishop TDJakes. Elsewhere in the video, Manasseh alleged that the two victims he spoke with talked to him about the G allegedly carried out by Bishop TDJakes. He said the victims told him that Bishop Jakes had also allegedly to them. Two of the offenders were not only a victim of G, as what I described in some of my previous videos, but of S assault, Manasseh Jordan said, from the same predator that groomed me and violated me as a man. They're going to be pressing charges.
From the same predator that groomed me.
It's one thing to be openly against gay people. It's another thing for your son to be caught up in that very web you hate. But it's an entirely different story for you to be caught up in those very stories you so boldly stand against, wouldn't you agree? Even more so when there is a very obviously large possibility of it leading to a full-on legal battle. Well, seeing Manasseh's video struck a chord in a lot of people, as several of them took to social media to talk about his revelation on the preacher. One person wrote, "Manasseh was so close to bursting into tears, I think he would have if he spoke any longer. He may say he's not a victim, I think he was a victim, or came close to becoming one. Sad." Another person who was more focused on the people supporting the alleged assaulter added, "I've seen and experienced this firsthand. His breakdown gave me chills. The spell over followers who worship these men and women as gods must be broken." Of course, the entire truth of this story is yet to be revealed, and while you could judge these people for reaching these conclusions without the entire story, TDJakes hasn't exactly had a clean slate, even before these recent allegations. Only a couple of weeks back, the preacher was caught up in a situation involving a rapper. Let's just say that didn't help his credibility one bit. It's no secret that social media has become a dynamic platform where personalities rise to fame, trends emerge and dissipate, and controversies take center stage. The recent case involving famed cleric TDJakes and rap mogul P. Diddy is a testament to this bustling online arena. TDJakes, who at this point needs no introduction, found himself in the social media limelight, not for his religious teachings, but for his alleged association with P. Diddy. The unusual alliance between these two contrasting figures has ignited a barrage of speculation and conspiracy theories. Although Diddy, aka Sean Combs, is no stranger to controversy, this recent revelation adds a fresh twist to the rapper's already controversial image. At the heart of the online commotion tied to these major figures are a series of allegations made by TikTok influencer Shia. A viral video in which she made allegations about Diddy's past relationship with former partner Cassie, including physical and SA claims, happens to be at the center. Among the startling revelations were tales of wild S parties allegedly thrown by Diddy, where TDJakes was rumored to be a frequent guest. Further fueling the fire, the video also hinted at a covert phone belonging to Diddy's late ex-girlfriend Kim Porter, a death that was already been wrapped in mystery and conjecture, with Diddy's name in the front lines. This explosive video took the internet by storm, with fans in shock, particularly concerning Bishop Jakes' alleged participation in these questionable activities. As soon as word of his alleged involvement with Diddy hit the media, several fans started to jump on the conversation, and one user even mentioned that this is only where it begins. They wrote, "This is just the beginning of what is about to unfold about TDJakes Ministries. There are a lot of skeletons in his closet, as well as how the ministry was run as well. Jakes attending many of P. Diddy parties is just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned for more as it unfolds." Following the accusations against him and the slew of backlash that followed it on social media, the preacher appeared to have responded to the claims. During a recent service at his church that was streamed on YouTube, Jakes used his sermon to seemingly clear the air over the allegations, which he deemed completely false.
Now I'm going to close with this. I ain't come to convince you or nobody, because I know who I am.
"I didn't come to convince you or nobody because I know who I am," an emotional Jakes said. "That is not what this is about. You can think about whatever you want to think. I came to do my job. I came to prothesis as I was commanded. I came to hear the Master say, 'Well done, thou good and faithful servant.'"
But if you sat there and misuse the Bible and its quotes, then you will have a stronger devastation, or a strong devastation to be wiped off the planet Earth, because you're taking your platform, which is a church, you're feeding the information from God to your peers or the parishioners, and then you're doing devilish stuff behind the scene. And you tell me where that makes sense at. Where did that make sense at all? But like I said, from Spiel Today, they had said that he got arrested. Though I haven't heard anything through the YouTube streets or the other bloggers that are out there that are well known and established. But I'm going to keep looking for that information, and I'll come back with a follow-up story. Okay? But let's go back to the audio.
While nothing has been outrightly confirmed yet, Jakes' colorful, controversy-shrouded history makes it difficult to pick his side on this. But maybe some undeniable evidence will come up and exonerate him. Who knows? That's it for this video. Goodbye.
All right.
Do this simple 20-second ritual before...
So we've heard about it. We've been around it. We've been shown it on TV. We had a whole lot of debates about what's real, what's fake, and all that kind of stuff. But what do you guys think? Do you think that TDJakes is a fellow parishioner as well as a leader for his flock, for his sheep? Or do you just think he got, how you call it, he got shot down before he can either make a decision on whether he wanted to be a preacher or not? And like I said, I know his wife had to know. Had to know. And as it seems, her children are grown. So it wouldn't be a thing of her not going to jail. She can go to jail too. Because you saw this happening to these little boys. Or you heard what happened. And you did nothing of the sorts to put an end to what they were suffering from, which is SA. And how you could sleep. But y'all probably don't even sleep together. I know you want to throw up every time you see him come around the corner. Because you know that's who they need to be running after. The wife and the children. But one of his children have already said that it was done to them. Then whether it was TDJakes welcoming him into sexuality or was it somebody else? That's what we're not really getting to see. But as usual, and I am sucking on a lozenger. If somebody say I'm eating, I'm not eating. I'm sucking on a lozenger. We just have to wait and let it play out. Because I'm telling you, this world is going real fast, even with the month of January, starting a new year. For I know it, it's going to be summertime. Not hammer time, but summertime. So, like I said, if anything comes up with this story, I'll be glad to come back and update you all. Because y'all family, you know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to know everything and be on one accord. And I'm like, okay, that's Messiah they were talking about in the video and what people were posting. Because I thought, well, they could have put their thoughts and had them not being able to be seen. But, you know, it's just like they're taking all of that away from them. But it could be murder for hire, you know, one of those things. And it could be, hey, the mother of the two sons, she was just clout chasing or just didn't want to be bothered with it because he wasn't messing with her at the time. You know how you live together with somebody just to have a ruse of not living together with each other? That's what it is. But y'all get in those comments. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, and comment on the video. It costs nothing. With a little bit of time. Probably less than 5 minutes. You could do it. You know my channel. Make it make sense. The C to spell sense. That distinguish me from other YouTubers that use the name Make It Make Sense. Okay? And don't forget to go over to my other channel, which is my main channel, Deb Chanel's 48th World. And you'll find me cutting up over there or giving news that we can use, okay? And have the commentary be blossoming. You know what I'm saying? Woo, because everybody got different perspectives and opinions on everything. And it's not going to always clash with your sentiments or what you felt. Okay? But I will see you guys on the next video. I don't know how that earring got in there. Oh, I've been moving too fast. I'm about to slow down. Slow all the way down, people. Enjoy your night, your morning, your afternoon break. Depends on where you're listening, what time of the day you're listening to my dialogue.